Hey, it's Don, the Auction Professor here. I get hundreds of questions a week these days, and I literally mean hundreds of them. Constantly, I get the same type of question. How did you get successful? What did you do? How did you do it? That's one of the basic questions that I get asked all the time. It all boils down to one specific question. What's the number one skill or trait that has made you successful as a reseller? For me, it's my vision, my drive, what I want to get out of life, where I'm heading down the road, what the future, not just a month from now or a week from now, what a year from now, what 2 years from now, what 3 years from now holds for me. I've got a drive as well that's going to take me to the end of the road to fulfill that vision, to make sure that it happens. My driving factor is my family, my wife, my kids, what I can get out of life that will help them and help me spend time with them. That is the key factors that have made me successful. Without that vision, that drive, I don't think I'd be anywhere near where I am right now in life. This is my path. This is what has made me successful. There's a million ways, though, to do something. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. There's only what works for you. To stress this point even further, I've reached out to other resellers here on YouTube that I actually interact with and respect and asked them that very same question. What's the number one skill or trait that has made you successful in reselling?
Hey everyone, Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. So the question is, what is my number one skill or trait that has helped me become successful over the years being a reseller? And I must say it's going to be, I had a lot of things that I wrote down, and there was one thing that just kept coming up. It kept coming up, and that is failure. Yes, my number one skill is failure. I'm good at failing. And what do I mean by that? You can actually go to a library, you can watch a YouTube video, and you can learn about something. Now that's learning, that's education. That's a lot different from wisdom. Wisdom is when you actually fall down, you scrape your knee, you get back up, you brush yourself up, and you say, you know what, I'm not going to go down that path anymore. Or if you pick an item that doesn't sell that you thought was going to be great, or you charge way too less for shipping, and you learn wisdom through failing. So all I'm saying is just fail now, fail hard, anticipate failure in your business, embrace failure. Like seriously think about, like, I hope I fail at something this week, and I will tell you it will change your whole outlook on your whole business. So once again, I'm Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Hey everybody, Sue here from She Sells. Don had asked the question, what's our number one trait or skill that's made us a successful reseller? I would say that mine is the ability to be flexible. Maybe you've been sourcing at the same store for the last couple years and now they're going out of business. You're going to have to find a new place, maybe multiple places to start sourcing at in order to continue to be successful. Recently, my husband was going to be in the hospital. I am pretty much probably 80% retail arbitrage on Amazon. I knew that I wouldn't be able to go out sourcing for a while. First, I tried to get as much in as possible, but I also bought 2 large lots, one shoes and one other clothing, because I knew that I was going to be home for a couple weeks and could be working to build my eBay store back up. I had really let it go since Christmas time. So that was a big change for me. Maybe you just finished your taxes and they were kind of difficult because you hadn't really kept up with your bookkeeping and stuff over the year. This would be a really good time to put a system in place so that you can have an easier time next year. Something that you do weekly or monthly, because as we all know, taxes aren't going away, so you're going to have to do it again next year. Might as well make it easier. I always find it funny when somebody says, oh, my sales are terrible. Well, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Well, no, I've been doing it the same way for 15 years. Well, maybe that's why your sales are down, or not why you're not doing as well. Lastly, though, don't try to chase every single shiny object. So know when to change, but don't necessarily change with the winds every time you see something new on YouTube, whatever the new popular system is. If things are going well, keep it at that.
Hey friends, internet strangers, I am Scott Zilke, aka the Bearded Picker. I've been asked today to answer the question, what one trait what do I think makes me successful in this business, reselling. I found reselling as a full-time job later in life. I worked in restaurants for 25 years and always working for someone. I think the final opportunity, which I kind of fell into working for myself, was very enjoyable. But the part that makes me successful is I love reselling. I have a passion for reselling. I love every part of it. Whether I am out hunting something, eBay, Amazon, doesn't really matter to me. But, there's that same thrill, that same adrenaline rush when you're finding lots of things. It does. I love talking about it. I love, making videos. It's always about reselling. I think a passion for this business is what truly drives me. It even makes shipping, that kind of stuff fun. I don't mind. When you love something, some of the tasks that, other people would tell you are mundane or a necessary part of it, listing on eBay. I did full-time eBay for a year, and just as I don't have any employees, it's just me. So whatever it takes in this business, because I love it so much, I think that is a key to anything in life. If you're going to make something, this is a day and age where everyone has much more open opportunities to do what you love and make that a career. Never in time has it been so easy to make your side hustle your number one career, with information and internet and just so much available out there. Don't settle for just working a job. Find out what you love and make that your career. Thank you.
Hey everybody, this is John from Nevermore Antiques, and I am going to answer a really quick question that was posed to me by the auction professor. He was wondering what trait that I possess that I think helps make me a very successful reseller. And I am an INJF, and that's a personality type that really is, I have a lot of intuition and feelings. And these are kind of like my superpower. Whenever I'm out and about, I'm looking for items to buy. I use a lot of my intuitiveness about merchandise. If I find an item that I really like, say something like this old stand here that's for a magnifying glass. Like, certain items make me feel a certain way. And I can't explain it, but if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. You see an item and it just like, you feel that there's like almost an energy coming off of that item that you're looking to buy, and that you know that if you feel it, that a lot of other people are going to feel it too. And a lot of people, when they're looking for old and eclectic items, they want it to be put in their house for display, because when they look at it, it gives off a certain energy, and they want to be able to feel that. So if you're able to kind of tune into that realm, and you're kind of able to use your intuition and your feelings to like manage, should I buy this item? Should I not buy this item? Especially when you're in the business like I'm in, where like in my antique store, we're going to sell more items for like, maybe home decor purposes and stuff like that. You really want to be able to know your customer and be able to get into their mind. And I believe that because I'm such an empathetic person, that my empathy really works well in this business, that it allows me to get into the mind of my buyer so that I can kind of know what they're thinking when they look at an item, and hopefully that will translate into sales and profitability. So I really appreciate having the opportunity to share this with you guys. You guys have a good day. And as always, keep on digging and keep on picking. God bless you guys.
What is up, everybody? It's Shane, the Rise and Grind Picker, and very blessed to be honored to participate in this video clip. What I can tell you is, what's the one thing in reselling that got me to be successful? I'm going to tell you, I'm going to break it down in a couple things very quickly. Persistence is one. I was persistent. I didn't give up. I stayed true, and I stayed at the goal, and I kept being persistent, as well as, I would say, working hard. And also, you have to be able to think outside of the box. If you cannot problem solve or think outside of the box, you're going to struggle tremendously in reselling.
I was actually, I'm just like super blessed, but what I can tell you is like you have to be able to think for yourself. You have to go out there and be able to just think, okay, what do I need to do in this situation? Where can I find this inventory? And I think that will go extremely far.
Hi, my name is Craig. I'm the Landshark picker here on the YouTubes. And first off, I wanted to say thank you to Don, the auction professor, for including me on this project. Don wanted each one of us to answer a question. The question was, what is the one skill or trait that has made you successful as a reseller? I don't know if it's a skill or a trait, but I think knowledge of the platforms, whether it be Amazon or eBay, has been critical to my success as a reseller. The history behind this is I have been selling online, whether it be eBay or Amazon, since the late 90s. I started off on eBay in the late 90s, 96, 97, I guess, selling laptop parts. I was parting out laptops, and things were a lot easier back then. There still was change. We were accepting money orders, cash, checks, things like that. So a lot of changes happened since then, but I think the key is understanding what the each platform wants, and being able to adjust to that change. So number one, having the knowledge and of the platforms and what they want, and when they change, being able to adjust to the change to be successful. And that's really helped me out a lot to have gone through the history or that time period of eBay and Amazon to be able to identify, how they want you to be successful. But Don, I definitely appreciate it. And if anybody wants to check out my channel, again, my channel is Landshark Picker. I got a good number of videos out, about 50 right now. Still working on some other ones.
What's going on, guys? Wade with Wade's Ventures here. I am a full-time reseller. I'm a YouTuber, social media influencer. I sell on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari. The list goes on. But I want to appreciate the Auction Professor, one of my most favorite YouTube channels. So thank you so much. Let's get into this. Couple things that make me successful as a full-time reseller that I have done for my business. One of the biggest things is I consume less content. I don't spend all day on YouTube. I try to lessen the amount of videos that I watch. I try not to watch as many TV shows, and you got to make sure you're laser focused for your business, so I consume less content. Another thing that really helps me, guys, is I work 4 hours a day, not necessarily 8 hours a day. So for example, those 4 hours I'm laser focused doing what makes me money, getting products in front of the buyers, whether that's Amazon or eBay. I'm always constantly listing for 4 hours, as opposed to working 8 hours and having a little bit of fluff in between. I want to be laser focused for 4 hours. And the last part is I want to make sure that I tackle at the beginning of the day all the hurdles, all the stuff that is not fun about reselling. I want to tackle all that stuff at the beginning of the day so I have it done, and then focus at the end of the day with doing what makes me money, which is listing and the fun part of reselling, sourcing, all that good stuff. So those are 3 things that's helped me as a reseller. I still struggle with those, but I try to focus on those daily. Hope you guys like this and have an amazing day. Thanks again.
Hey everyone, it's Dominic, the Primetime Treasure Hunter. When I think of the personality characteristic or trait that has made me the most successful as a reseller, I would say it's the ability to be persistent, which is synonymous with being resilient and closely associated with being motivated. And these are all personality characteristics and traits that everybody has within themselves, and you can make it a strength, but you've got to work at it. A lot of people struggle with these issues. So number one in terms of developing this is that you have to develop a mindset that you are not going to give up, that you are going to take control over situations when adversity pops up. You're not going to immediately go to blame somebody else or some other entity, but you're going to try to take control of whatever you can control to fix the situation. You want to make sure that you set goals. Your goals have to be attainable goals. There have to be tangible ways to measure progress towards them. You don't want the goals to be too easy or you're going to get bored. You don't want to make them impossible or you're going to get frustrated. It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You've got to get it just right. Now, you also have to have a reason for why you're pursuing those goals. That drives the motivation. So it either has to be financial freedom, or it has to be getting away from a job that you don't like, or it has to be trying to take care of your family. Whatever it is, something that pushes you, that drives you, you take it day by day. Don't try to accomplish all the goals at once. You just make little steps each day. In addition, you keep moving. You don't let inertia sit in. If something happens that messes up your day, then you just keep at it that day or keep at it the next day. And those are the ways that you could improve on those abilities as well if it's something you're struggling with, and make that a strength for you.
Hey folks, Steve Alcorn here with you. My YouTube channel is Steve Alcorn Flips. The question was asked, what is the number one skill or trait that has made me a successful reseller? For me, it's passion to make this business work. And the reason I have that passion, the reason I have that drive, is because a few years ago I was in a really bad spot. I was living in a one-room apartment with my son as a single father, raising a child on $70 a week mowing lawns, because that was the only income I had. That instilled a desire for me to make a better life for us. It took a couple more years for me to get out of that cycle, but once I did, I decided about 2.5 years ago to become a full-time reseller. And the desire and passion to make that better took over my life, and I am where I am today because of that. Now, your reason for having that desire to succeed may be different than mine, but it makes it no less important and no less worth. So just get out there, have that desire, have that passion, and you can be successful too.
Well, here you have it. That's 10 different ways from 10 different resellers. Again, there's no right way. There's no wrong way. There's only what works for you. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if we post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell a friend.